Welcome to episode 5 of the Passion Lab. Today, I have the great opportunity to be sitting down with one of my great friends, Ethan Flake. Flake, welcome to the podcast. I can't call you Ethan. I don't think I've ever called you Ethan. Nobody calls you Ethan. Thank you so much, Ethan, for being here. I just called you Ethan. Before we jump into the podcast and kind of are getting to the meat of what we're talking about today, why don't you give me and the listeners just a little bit of background on who you are?
So I met Jacob when I was in my mission in the Philippines. So I served a mission there, and then I got back just under 2 years ago. And since then, I've just been doing a bunch of stuff with videography, photography, social media, content, and like ads, all of that stuff. I just love it all.
That's awesome. Besides that, other than like what you've been doing for the last 2 years, give me a little background on who you are, your family, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I was born in Mapleton, and that's just kind of where I grew up. Like my family's still from there, and I still go there a lot. Um, Other than that, like I guess I love to travel. I love like good experiences. I love like trying new things. Um, and I don't know, I just love to have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I can attest to that. Flake loves to have fun, and we've had good times together. And I love every time something pops up on Instagram. It's always something super fun that Flake's doing. So it's fun to be catching up with him today. Like you said, you've been into photography, videography, marketing ads, all that stuff. Um, how did you get into that? Did that start when you came home from your mission?
Yeah, so in my mission, one of my companions was just like, dude, you should try digital marketing. And before that, I had never even heard of it. I literally had no idea what it was. So um, from there, it kind of like planted a seed of like, maybe that'd be something cool. So I decided when I got home, I was going to get my degree in that. And then like as time went on, like I realized like I was just going to learn it on my own and figure it out because it's so much. I don't know. It's growing so quick and changing so much that a degree in it isn't really that important, I don't think.
Hmm.
So I decided to kind of like take a break from school and pursue it on my own.
That's awesome. Yeah. Um, I guess stepping back a little bit before that, have you always been someone that has loved creating content or making videos and stuff like that? Has that always been kind of a part of your life?
Yeah, for sure. Like I've always had YouTube channels like probably since I was 10, and I've consistently, like I wouldn't say consistently, but I've posted, hundreds of videos throughout my life, and so I love it.
That's awesome. Is there a specific video from like when you were a kid that like you felt like so proud of or like that was so cool?
Looking back there, none of them are cool, but there's a couple where I was like, okay, I was cooking back in the day.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for like as you've been home, as you've had different opportunities, how have you what does your journey look like in the last I guess like almost 2 years of going to school and then deciding school wasn't for you and then what have you been working with mostly just big companies or small companies or what does your journey kind of look like? Take me through what the stops have been along the way.
Okay, the stops, yeah. Um, the stops for the most part have been that when I got back, I decided I was going to go to school. And before that, just a month before that, I bought my first camera. I saved up and bought a Sony camera. And so between school and that camera, I kind of like learned what I wanted with the camera. I remember my first big thing with the camera was that um, one of my good friends, Andrew Hancock, he he like got me a trip to go film F1 or like not F1, but the big race cars, and they gave me a media pass and they flew me out, and I just felt like finally I was providing value to someone that I really wanted to be there. It was super cool, super incredible experience, and then from there I was able to say like, oh yeah, I've done these big projects, like I can keep going. And so after that, just more big projects came, and then towards the end of last year, I started my ads business, and I did that for a while until stuff changed and I sold out for contracts. Like I did some sort of deal where I got myself out of it because it wasn't what I wanted. And
Mm.
then after that, um, a creator invited me to go to the Philippines with him, and so that was a super big deal for me to be able to go with an influencer and
Yeah.
make videos with him that ended up getting across platforms millions of views. That was super big for my portfolio. And then now working with James Seo, the $1 mystery gift guy.
Yeah.
So it's like between all those steps, it's kind of like one person to the next, kind of just like I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm, creating content, and now it's getting to be more big projects, more cool stuff.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, like almost 2 years later, it seems like a very linear process, but I'm sure there were many times in that, in those 2 years where you were like kind of feeling lost, like, man, like I don't know where we're going next with this. Like I feel like I'm trying so hard, working so hard, but nothing's really coming to your line. How did you stay strong? Like, I mean, obviously you're doing really big things now, working with a creator that has millions of followers across platforms and stuff like that. How did you like just stay strong and like keep going?
Um, there's definitely a lot of times, like, especially after my first business, like, there's a couple days where I was just like laying in my bed, like scheming and like plotting what was gonna happen next, and I was so stressed, like I literally had no idea what was gonna happen, like where I was gonna be and what I was gonna do. Like I was writing down literally any inspiration that came to my head just because I just didn't know what it was gonna look like. I basically just lost my day to day, and so um, in times like that, it's like I just like to just sit there with a piece of paper and write down what comes to me, because something good is gonna come eventually. And when what's right, when you know it's like sticks out, then you're if you just follow through with it, like it just leads to big things.
That's awesome. That's a very good advice, and I think something that a lot of people could learn from. I think oftentimes in our life we feel stuck. We feel like there's things we could be doing, but we don't know what to do. And people can like kind of wallow in that like sadness of not knowing what to do. But I think your action, your ability to take action to do something when it's tough, it shows a lot about your character. Um, just to kind of, I guess, circle back to you, part of your journey, in the part where you said, I want to go to school. Was that something that, like, obviously that's like the traditional path. That's what most people do. They finish high school, they finish whatever's after that, and then for you it was a mission. Um, and you said, "Oh, I go to school," and then you decided, "Hey, school's not for me." What would you say to like the traditional path? Like obviously some people it's really good for, but what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like to everyone their own. Like the traditional path is great. College is amazing. I think it does wonders for some people. I just felt like the big deciding factor for me was like I just felt like I wasn't learning anything. Like I didn't feel like I could give it at all. I have a really hard time trying to learn stuff when I don't feel like it's valuable in my life. Like it's just like extra brain space for me that I just don't want to fill.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, it felt almost like I told myself I wanted to be an extremely highly educated person, and if school was educating me, then it was almost like wrong to go. Like it was wrong to waste my energy doing something where I wasn't feeling like I was gaining an education. And so, like that was the big part for me, was like, um, am I really learning? And when I felt like I wasn't, then I knew that there was something that needed to change, and so that change was just made through taking a break and taking a step away from school.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll go back? I'm not sure, but I don't think it's the path for me. I don't think it's the path for a lot of people that are still in school. Like I think a lot of people can learn the skills that they're learning without school and make a lot more connections doing so and do it a lot better. So,
Yeah. It's been something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I'm in school right now and I've been enjoying school and I feel like I am learning some valuable things for my life. Um, but I am in a bit of a search for like meaning right now. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to read something I wrote in my journal the other
for
night.
sure.
And it was just based off of like, I kind of started with like this question of like the push and pull of like the traditional route. And it kind of led to like a whole chain of questions that I had. And this is what I wrote. I said, the push and pull of the safe route. I guess what I mean by that is going to school, getting a degree, getting a good, respectable job that earns the respect of others immediately because I'm succeeding in life. But to whose standards? Is getting a respectable job after getting a college degree a fulfillment of my measure or a standard for or my standard for success? I'm not sure. I would like to be a financial blessing to my family and not a financial and add to the financial success of my family, especially my kids, my future kids. I would love to earn money that allows me to grow my capacity to have autonomy and freedom and to use the freedom and monetary wealth to relieve stress and provide opportunities for my children, my wife, and others in need. So the push and pull is I know that if I work hard, get a degree, and get a good paying job, I will most likely provide these financial freedoms. a college degree will give me these opportunities to earn money and provide many of these opportunities that financial freedom can offer. But on the other hand, monetary growth has only one side of the coin, and this coin has many sides. I believe that I could find a road to financial freedom while also adding and filling other cups that make the measure of my success in life. I've realized that anything that is going to help me move towards success is going to take work. Earning money, growing personally in my relationships with my family or with God, or anything else that improves me as an individual is hard work. And so, like, I guess just based off of this reminded me a lot of what you just said. Like, you said, like, you can work hard. You know how to work hard. And while maybe, I don't know, like, a big part of why I guess I think a lot of people move towards the traditional route and just stick in it, even though they might not want to, is the, I guess, almost like guaranteed financial freedom that it offers.
For sure.
And while that is like very freeing for some people, I don't, I'm not here trying to say that I don't like, I'd be a hypocrite to say that people shouldn't go to school. I'm in school right now. Like,
For sure.
but I also think like there's a lot more, like I said there in the end, like there's many sides to the coin of the meaning or success of our life. And I think oftentimes people view it as a one-sided thing where it's just I need to make a lot of money so that I'm like not in a bad place in life. And so I don't know, just a couple of thoughts. Do you have anything to add on to that?
I mean, I just want to like ask you again, do you even feel like the traditional route is the safer route anymore? Because I honestly don't know if it is.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question to ask. I I really haven't thought of it, but I think it could be not the safest route nowadays. I mean, if you think about like I have a lot of friends who've just graduated and some of them have jobs and some of them don't. And like I think the allure of a college degree is you're guaranteed a job, which I don't think is the reality anymore.
For sure. I don't either.
So I think that's a really good question to think about. Is college really the safest or the traditional path the safest? I don't know. It depends on what you want. So
For sure. Yeah. No, I don't know if it is the safest route. Like, honestly, with how much everything's changing now, it's like it could very well not be the safest
yeah,
route. And I think, I don't know if it's a safer route, but I think it's safe to just choose a skill and just get extremely good at that skill to the point where people can't live without that skill.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think that's very valuable to think about. I mean, being able to have I mean, if you're not getting a skill from being in college or doing going to school, what's the point?
Sure.
Like you're not providing yourself value to others. So I think it's a good path. Has you said in when you were in your mission and someone said, "Oh, you should do digital marketing." Did that kind of become like a dream of yours? Is that something that you kind of like or just thought like, "Oh, that's a good path to go down?"
Yeah, it was kind of just like I didn't really know what I was gonna do, and then I heard that and I was like, maybe I'll try that. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what it was.
Yeah.
It
Have
kind of just stuck with me.
yeah. And as you came home and as you kind of learned and it seemed like you kind of knew what you wanted because you knew college wasn't what you wanted. Did you have like dreams when you were starting all these little businesses and doing photography and doing all that? Did you have like an end goal throughout the whole thing of like what you wanted to do, or are you just trying to really just explore?
Well, at the beginning, I was just trying to explore.
Yeah.
Like, I was just trying to see like if there really was as much money as people say there is in social media and you know in all this stuff. If it's actually like sustainable and it'll be a long term thing and whatever. Like, I just wanted to know if that was all true. And so, kind of through exploring different business models, talking with like other people in the space, like I've just learned like it's incredible. Like, there's so many opportunities in it. And so from there, it's like easy for me to capitalize on that and just go and run with that. And it's a skill that I feel like is underdeveloped for so many people that is something that I really want to work on. And so I do feel like like for sure, like it's it was at the beginning something that I was just trying to explore, and now I know like more kind of what I want to do and the direction I want to go with it. And there's multiple directions that I'm considering, but I definitely know I'm in the right path.
Yeah, that's great. If you were to like be in the, I mean, right now you're working with a huge creator. You're doing really big things. If you were to like go back a year and a half to your old self and say like, "Hey, like this is where we're at now." How do you think year and a half ago Flake would have felt?
oh, I would have felt amazing. I would
Yeah.
have thought, okay, perfect. It's going to work out then.
Yeah. I think that's amazing. I mean, it seems like the path you're on is kind of fulfilling, I don't know, not necessarily like, or maybe like a dream of some sort,
Mhm.
of like something big that you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess this is kind of similar to what we were just talking about. But as far as like, I think a lot of people in life have dreams that they want to accomplish. This is a dream that I've had for a long time, and I'm trying to pursue it. But I think a lot of people sit on dreams that they have and don't ever act on them. What would you say to that, to, I guess, people who have dreams, or kind of like, I guess, why do you think people don't pursue their dreams?
I think a lot of people think their dreams are like unrealistic, which is 100% not true.
Hmm.
If you know the right people and like you meet the right people and you make yourself valuable and you're able to provide something, even if it's a little bit of worth, then your dreams are 100% realistic. Like crazier things happen every single day. Like crazy people do crazier things every single day than whatever your dream possibly could be. And so for me, it's like, why not just like at least try it? Like go all in on it for literally a month and you'll make so much progress.
Yeah.
And like you won't have it after a month. You won't even have it probably after a year or 2 or 3 years or whatever. But like you'll see that like the progress is real and you'll meet people that do it and you'll meet like other people that are like in the space and other people that are successful at it. And so um I guess just as you do it, like it just you realize that it's actually possible. I
Yeah.
think the first step's the hardest, and then second's harder or a little less hard, and then it just gets less hard, and then after a bit, you're pulled into it. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing the way that dreams work. Like you're given the dreams for a reason, so it's like you need to, it's almost disrespectful to not chase after them and do something about them.
Yeah. I think that's a great thing to, I guess, way to frame it is like, there's a reason you have this dream. You're either disrespecting yourself, someone who instilled that dream in you, to not try. I think a lot of people are afraid to try because of failure. I think the idea of starting something, whatever it is in life, a business, a podcast, social media, a family, a relationship, anything, starting something new is hard. But I think a lot of people are afraid to fail, afraid of the idea of what could be. I think we often write ourselves off before we even try. Like we're like, oh, like I want to do this, but I can't do it, or but someone else is better, so I won't be good at it. So I think oftentimes, like before we even try, I think there's a lot of just like writing off that goes on. It's like, well, I can't do it because excuse. And I think that's really sad that a lot of people don't pursue those dreams because I mean, think about if everyone in this world pursued their dreams. Think about how much better it would be.
Yeah,
I feel like if everyone in this world were to pursue their dreams, to pursue something they cared about, their life would be everyone's life would be so much more meaningful because they wouldn't be miserable sitting behind a desk. If that's their dream, then sure, go do it. But I just think like there's so much fear in this world of what could be, and so we often just write off like, oh, it's not going to work out before we even try.
for sure, and that's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. It makes me really sad. Um, Moving on, I guess. How you've worked with like you're working with a huge creator right now, and maybe you're I don't I think it's such an unexplored space. It's like wow, like Flake's after a couple projects that where he worked with some people, he's now with this huge guy. How did you get to where you are? Beside like we went through your timeline, but how do you think you I mean you're in how do you get through these doors where you get invited to go to the Philippines, you get invited to work with James So? Like what do you think it took for yourself besides the actual work of growing your portfolio?
Um, I feel like a lot of it is the way that you present yourself. Like I meet so many people in the way that I present myself. I really try and show that I want to, first of all, be their friend, but also provide so much value to them that it's unreasonable for them to not want to work with me,
Hmm.
not want to connect with me. Like, that's such an important thing to me is like, if you can show someone that you're going to provide value in their life, like, obviously they're going to want to, work with you to some degree and they're going to think of you for other opportunities and stuff. Like, that's what I think is so important is like the way you present yourself. I had a video go really viral that was not that impressive of a video. It was 8-second clip, and across platforms it's done like over 100 million views. And so for me, it's amazing for me to be able to say like, oh yeah, like I've generated like a million views
Yeah.
on across platforms. And now when people hear that, then it's just like, okay, like it's
Yeah.
a little bit more of like, okay, he knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
even though it's like at the same time, I kind of don't. Like I'm still figuring it out. I'm still learning along the
That
way.
was almost like luck.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like luck. And it's like I'm just going to use that to my advantage and present myself as someone that's able to generate those views. And it's like I am able to, generate views and stuff, but it's also the way I present myself. I could have done nothing with that and
Yeah.
just let it been a cool thing that happened, but like I chose to use it to my advantage. I chose to present it to creators and say, "Hey, here's my viral Philippines video," and then they want to take me to the Philippines and make viral videos there.
Yeah.
And so um, a lot of it's that. A lot of it's like the way you make people feel. Um, a lot of it's kind of just like the relationship side to it. Like once you know people, like it's kind of a snowball effect of like, okay, they're talking about me and they're able to back me up and they've worked with me, so they know that I'm, good to work with.
Yeah.
I'm a good person. I'm fun to be around and
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, does that kind of answer your question, or are you looking for something
No,
more?
yeah, exactly. I think that's a really I think that's a lot very valuable. But I guess like once you I think like you said earlier, you said the first step is always the hardest. How do you get yourself like in the door? Is it just merely just cold DMing? Like what have you seen to be successful? Because I think a lot of people want to be in that space. They just don't know how to get in.
I think you kind of have to start with yourself. Like you have to like you've got to be making videos like for someone. Like you've got to be doing what you want to do for someone, like whether it's for the smallest brand and you're doing it for free, or whether it's for your own social media pages in my example, or whether it's like um for your parents' company or just anything. Like you've got to be putting in some sort of action. I feel like when it comes to like accomplishing dreams and getting to where you want to be at, I just see it as like if I were to put 40 hours a week into this, would I get there? And it's like, obviously you would. If someone was putting 40 hours a week into anything, they would,
Yeah.
achieve it. And then it's like, how much more if they put 60 hours or 80? If they're working 12-hour days, like they're not going to fail. Like there's too much output to fail,
Yeah.
And so um, that's kind of my mindset with that is like, um, you can just, you have to be doing it to some degree. And then eventually, like, there's just a switch where you kind of like you're going and then it just kind of like picks up and people start noticing you and people start you'll have a couple successes and you'll have like a couple small successes, and from that you can just build and build. Like I don't know if I ever really cold DM'd. I mean, maybe during my business days, but it would have been better if I was just out there actually creating stuff in public and you know meeting people and connecting with people. I think that's the most important, is just who you
Yeah.
know and how you're meeting them.
Yeah. I think that's really valuable to think about because I think a lot of people just will not take action, just try and like reach out. I think that's very common. Like that's what I like if someone were to come to me like, "How would you work with a brand?" Like I've never worked with a brand. Never. I'd love to. I think my first thing was like, I don't know, DM them or just like try and just contact them, but I think there's no proof of concept until you've done something. So why would someone want to work with you?
For sure.
So I think that's sort of valuable, and I think to back what you said, like if you were to work 40 hours to do anything, I'm not sure if you know who Alex Hormozy is.
Hmm.
There's a quote that he says, "Works like do so much work that would be unreasonable for you not to succeed."
For sure.
Like I don't think that's a direct quote, but it's like that's the gist of it. Is like if you want something, I think you can measure how much you want something about on like based on how much effort you put into it. So if you say, "Oh, I want to do this," but you put like 2 hours a week into it, I don't know if you really want. I think you want the idea of what could be, but I don't think most people like that don't put in the effort want it. And so I think, like you said, if you don't put in the effort to get what you want, I don't think you really want it. I think you want the outcome
For sure.
and the lifestyle that other people are had that do the work because it's not all glamorous. I mean, talk to me about that. I think a lot of what people see on the internet is And so, wow, these people have great, amazing lives, but it's not all glamorous all the time. As you've worked with this big creators, what have you learned about that?
Oh, it's so not glamorous. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that we get to do, like incredible things and, super unique experiences. But behind the scenes, like, there's days where it's 16-hour days. There's days where, 2 days ago, a brand contacted us and said, "Hey, we need this video changed and we need it done by 8 a.m." And it was 1 in the morning. And so we had to work from 1 to 3
Oh my gosh.
and then get it up at 8, stuff like that, where it's like people aren't seeing that behind the scenes, like, we're editing for 15 hours a day, or we're skipping lunches. Like, that dude James, he does not eat during the day. He doesn't eat till 7 p.m. usually.
Wow.
And he goes to bed after me, wakes up before me. I wake up at 8:30 with 5 text messages that I need to respond to from him that are to-dos. Like, there's just so much going on behind the scenes, and the day-to-day is just so crazy. It's not that glamorous. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So many moving parts, so much communication, and it's a struggle,
Yeah.
but I love it.
I think to that point, like those people who seem like, oh wow, they have such like a posh life. It's so easy. Like all they do is make. I think a big, at least against social media, that I've heard an argument for, especially against not only, but like especially people of the older generation. They'll say, oh, like all you do is make videos on Instagram. Like why are they making so much money? It's like, yeah, but if you worked 16-hour days, you would be earning a lot of money too. Like if you were to go to your 9 to 5 job and not and be there from 5 to 9 p.m., 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., that's a long time, you would be getting paid more. So like I think oftentimes people don't realize how much work. I mean, not I didn't know that. I think that's a shock to me. Like I knew those people worked hard, but I had no clue that it's that much work. Like I think I put like a decent amount of effort into what I do, but I'm nowhere near that level of and that's why he's so successful. I think that's why these people and even like where you're at, you didn't get there by working a couple hours a week. You worked there. You got to where you are right now and you will get to bigger places by continuing to just work your butt off and do big things. And so I think that's such a valuable lesson that I think a lot of people don't understand or don't realize about how much work it really goes into creating these things. So
For sure.
that's great insight. What's been, I guess we've been talking about like a lot of like kind of deep stuff. What's been like the coolest experience that you've had in the last 2 years because of what you've been doing as working on digital marketing or working with creators or stuff like that? What do you think that you can talk about? What's the biggest or most fun thing that you've been able to do?
Um, I think going to the Philippines was like incredible, just to be able to like go out there for 10 days and be filming videos the whole time, learning from TyBott, who's an incredible creator.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
Um, he just had so many incredible insights and things that I'd never heard, and strategies that are extremely unique that no one else really does but him. Um, it was also so cool because we got to like make kind of like, my sort of like dreams from the mission come true. Like, we slept with the tribe and we ate their food and we went hunting with them, and like we got to go out to these islands and, find the rarest mango in the world, and we got to go to the top of a mountain village and sleep on the rice terraces. Like, it's just like experiences like this where it's like I just want these to be brought to life, and then like through that experience I got to bring them to life. Like, I got to be like, hey, we should do this. Like, this would be awesome, this would be
Yeah.
cool. It's like that's super cool to me.
Yeah. I think, I mean, we met in the Philippines, and like at least the way I feel about the Philippines is such a special place
Hmm.
in my heart. Like those people they can do no wrong. Like the Filipinos in my mind, they're just like the most amazing people.
For
I have
sure.
such a deep love for them. And so I'm sure going and exploring in a more like freeing way in the Philippines where you can go and also doing something really cool at the same time must have just been like the most fulfilling thing. You mentioned that when you were with TyBot that he taught you so much. What do you think the biggest lesson that you learned from him?
A lot of work ethic. Like, he's not as vocal as some people are about his work, but like I would wake up at 7 in the morning and he would already be up on his phone just typing in his notes, random video ideas he's having for the future, and like throughout the day, like he's consistently like his mind's just turning of like what's gonna work, what's gonna work, and then like actually just seeing him in action, being like, no, that's not gonna work. We need like a retention thing. He was just teaching me so much about like how videos flow, what retains people, what helps people watch it, and um, all of that sort of stuff. Like he just taught me so much about what it actually takes, like being up there in the creators, like um, doing what he does, like he just showed me like kind of behind the scenes of like how his brain actually operates and like how stuff works when you're at that level. And so that was super cool.
Yeah, I mean, being able to work with someone who's been at it for that long, has that much success,
Yeah, 10 years or
it
more.
it's insane to think about. Like every time one of his videos would pop up, I'm like, Flake's behind the camera on that one. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy to think,
Uh-huh.
but like there's so much thought that goes into it. I mean, it sounds like all these people, their minds just always turned on. They're always
Yeah.
like, just go, go, go. New idea here, write it down. New idea here, go do this, film this, edit this, respond to brand. Like just always 24/7. You're just sprinting, essentially. It's a very chaotic lifestyle and very, very fast, but it's also very fun.
Hmm.
How have you been able to find, as you've joined these creators and worked for these creators and worked with these creators, how have you been able to balance like being so fast paced with also just like finding some space to be peaceful every once in a while? Have you found a way?
It's been hard
Yeah.
since I started working with James. We're like, he's just barely expanding his team. And so we don't really have systems in place. And so there's a little bit of overlap still. Like we're still figuring that out. Um, so I hope that I can find that piece
Yeah.
because right now it's really just like work and then my girlfriend. Like
Yeah.
that's where all my time's going right now. And um, I hope that I can, give more time to other areas of my life.
Yeah.
But we're still like new. We're still building out systems. We're still like building out what works and what doesn't. And it's been a grind.
Yeah. I mean, it's a never ending learning curve, I think. That just, I mean, it sounds like you're at the very grassroots of something where it was maybe a little smaller scale, but still like big results. And now it's like, okay, we want even bigger results. So you need to scale up the behind the scenes. And so I think it's really cool that you're doing that. I guess just a couple more questions. You've done engagement photos and other photography. We haven't really talked about that yet. How does that add meaning to what you're doing, and how have you enjoyed that?
I just think proposals are so special. I think they're amazing, and um, I love to be the one capturing it because it's like you get just a front row seat to see these people's reaction to such a big thing in their life, and so that's one thing that I just love to like photograph. I think it's amazing. I think they're so exciting, and they're so like they're just cute, like romantic, and um, it's incredible to just see like two people choosing each other. I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
amazing. Like, and it's something I love to capture, and I love the idea of just like this picture will most likely be framed in their house for years and years to come, and so I
Yeah.
really need to go out and kill it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of, I mean, but it's also like you said, it's a very special moment to be able to capture. There's a lot of emotion that comes with that. How have you, I guess, managed like think back maybe to your first ever shoot. Were you nervous?
Definitely.
Yeah. How do you work through those nerves of like, man, hope my camera doesn't break, or I hope like we're able to like be in the right spot. I hope they don't like go to the wrong spot or this or that. How do you manage those nerves?
There's definitely a lot of upfront work that goes into
Yeah.
making sure everything's in place. But yeah, no, I remember my first time I was extremely nervous. I was hiding in the trees and um, I didn't want to pop out and, ruin the moment, but like I had to get the better shot. So I kind of like snuck down and laid down and stuff. But it's just incredible. Like, I mean, if you're prepared, you're chilling, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're incredible. I'm just there early making sure I have the right framing and have the exact shot I want to get and
Yeah.
everything. But it's just, yeah, they're a lot of fun.
That's an incredible thing to be able to do, and I mean, it's very a great thing for those people, and a great thing for you. It's a great opportunity. Kind of to wrap up, um, is a lot of your current work just for other people, or do you have plans to do things for your own? I mean, you said you have some things you're maybe thinking about. Like, tell me a little bit more about what you're currently doing, and then where you kind of see this going.
sure. Yeah. Obviously James is great. Like I love working with him and whatever, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life building up his dream. I mean, I'm happy to do it right now and learn as much as I'm learning and get these incredible experiences. Um, he's talked about starting other channels, and so if me and him were to do something together, I think that'd be incredible. That'd
Yeah.
fulfill a huge dream of mine. If not with him, then I'd love to just make my own page. I don't know how set I am on actually doing it, but
Yeah.
there's a part of me where it's like that would be incredible to have my own travel page. And
Yeah.
um, obviously that depends on a lot of how my life pans out. But um, like my girlfriend, she's incredible. Like she travels so much, and so it would be perfect if
Yeah.
me and her could start something together.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean,
It's a huge dream, and um, we'll see how it pans out over the next little bit. Obviously for fun, and then if I feel the need to take it more seriously, then I definitely would love to.
yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, I'll be there every time any my rule of thumb I guess in life is anytime any of my friends are doing something, I'm there to support. So I'll be there supporting. I'm super excited for whatever you choose to do next. Before we get to the last question, I just want to say thank you, Flake, for coming on. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you. You've shared some really amazing things. I've learned a lot. I hope the listeners have learned a lot. You've kind of maybe shared a couple things, but if you had one final message to a listener who has a dream that they kind of want to pursue, but have been a little bit afraid to, whether it's a big dream, a small dream, anything that they're passionate about or want to become passionate about, what would your advice be to anyone in that situation?
Um, I mean, we've said it over and over. You just need to put that out, like you just need to put it in the work. Like if you're putting in the work for something that you want to do, like you're gonna get there. And it's crazy, like how much more fulfilled I feel right now working as hard as I do compared to, when I was working less and doing stuff I wasn't really excited about. Like it's just a different type of like fulfillment, a different type of life when you're doing something that you truly love that, is making an impact in other people's lives. It's a different feeling to know like you're building something real and you're, changing lives and getting to do all these cool things. Like, I think everyone needs to chase that feeling. Like everyone knows that something that they want to do. Everyone has some sort of dream, and it's like you might as well just go for it. Like you have literally nothing to lose, especially when you're young. Um, I think like if people would chase their dreams more, then we would live in a better world.
Yeah.
So I'm just like you. I'm extremely pro dream. I'm extremely pro go do your thing, and I'm here to support. And I want to see my friends succeed. I want to see them do the things they love.
That's awesome. Well, Flake, that's some great advice. I think that's been a common theme as I've asked this question every single person I've interviewed so far, and it's only been five people, but I think the common theme is just start.
For sure.
Think, get past that fear, or don't even think it. Don't acknowledge the fear. Just act. I think that's such amazing advice. Flake, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you supporting me by coming on as a guest, and it's been a great pleasure to talk to you. Thank you to all the listeners who have been here. If you make it to the end, send me a DM. Tell me the biggest thing you learned, and go check out our Instagram. And thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.